I remember just being super depressed at the school because I wasn't eating. My artwork wasn't looking and going how I wanted it to, no matter how much I practiced. I just wasn't happy with myself, and I remember thinking, if I could just make it through one more day, I'll be okay. But it's like every day after the next just became harder and harder, and it was just hard to cope with, honestly. I don't even know how I got through some of those days. It was some of the darkest days, honestly, of my life because I just wanted to go home, but I couldn't break my leash, so it was just a miserable experience. So the first college that I went to, because I'm literally like at my fourth college right now, and this is not my last one, it was the Art Institute of Washington, and I went straight to this school after I graduated from high school. And it definitely was an experience, and I don't regret anything. I didn't originally want to go to an art institute when I was in high school. I don't even, like, I started drawing probably like my junior year of high school, and I had kept seeing a lot of art institute previews like my senior year, and I applied like way after people was already accepted into universities and colleges. And I did a tour of the school one day. I went down there in the summertime with my mom, and I was like, well, I like this school. And I was like, I think I want to go here. So I had to write an essay and some other stuff for requirements and submit like my transcripts and stuff. And I ended up getting accepted into the college, and I was actually happy. I took my portfolio, which was my artwork. When the day was time for me to leave, I was super depressed because my mom couldn't go with me. That's just a really scary feeling, like your first time going to college and your parent can't go with you. I'm not gonna lie, I was so nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I was emailing my roommates, and they seemed cool from what I could gather, but I don't know why we didn't tell each other to follow each other on Instagram. I'm actually really close with one of them. Is actually like my best friends, and the other one I talked to her to a lot actually on Instagram, and it's just amazing we could still all be cool like this. I'm glad I did meet them. So when I got there, I didn't even know what to expect. I'm thinking it was going to be on, the dorms were going to be on campus, and I was just going to be living with college students. No, my dorms were actually regular apartments, like regular people lived in these buildings too, and I couldn't even get to in the building because of how the apartments were set up. I was on the whole opposite side. Like, before we even checked into the apartments, we had to do this like new student orientation at the school, and I was the first one done, so I thought I would be the first one to get to the house. I actually was. By the time I got up to the apartment where I was staying, everybody was already in and settling in, and my best friend, she chose the freaking sunroom. Me and her was supposed to share a room, so I ended up sharing a room with my other roommate. She was supposed to be sharing a room with the other girl on the other side, who she was real different. Everybody just didn't even sleep where they were supposed to sleep. Everything was good for like the first 2 months, because I only stayed there for 7 months, but it felt like a damn year and some change. And everything was cool the first 2 months, and then me and my roommate I shared a room with, we would get into it about the dumbest stuff. When I mean the dumbest stuff, I mean dumbest. Like, it got real bad at one point. Like, this was probably the 4th month I was staying there. Things were getting a little rough, and I didn't want to be roommates with her anymore. And it got so bad where I really tried to switch, like live at a whole different building. But we were able to work past it, and we actually all ended up getting really close after that situation. I was so glad, because it's no way to live like when you don't like your roommate and y'all still have to be roommates. It's like the most miserable feeling. Like, we've literally shared a room together, so it was like so awkward. We gotta like share space together, eat like down to the bathroom, so we had to figure something out, and we did. And I was glad that we were able to put that behind us, because it was so stressful. Like, I'm already stressing about school. I don't want to be stressing about the place where I live at, or where we live at. We finally got over everything. And when I mean we got close, this is the time where Vine was out. So we were making Vines together and everything. When we would have movie nights, and we would have like an open floor where we discussed what was going on in our past and why certain situations might have molded us into the people we are today. And I ain't gonna lie, I miss those little talks we used to have in the living room on the floor. We would all get together and watch movies on somebody's laptop. I went to my first homecoming there, and the homecoming was actually here, and Bow Wow was there. And it was funny because we had literally just watched a Catfish episode, and the person thought they were talking to Bow Wow, and then we seen Bow Wow the next day. So that was funny. And they would always go out and they would always invite me to go out, but I was so introverted. I did not want to go out. I was so shy and nervous. I was almost like a kid, but I mean, I'm still pretty much introverted, but I'm better than what I was, especially back then. Like, when I mean, I was so to myself, it wasn't funny. Like, it took me a minute to actually warm up and then to see the side of me that you guys probably see on my channel. But I mean, things were definitely different back then. I was only 18. I was, out on my own for the first time. I had lived pretty much a really sheltered life. So things were really difficult. While I was there, I had, I think, 1 or 2 jobs. I was working out at Old Navy in Springfield, Virginia. Like, the metro was my best friend. And I lost so much weight there easily. I easily lost about 20 to 30 pounds there because I was walking everywhere. Okay, my school, at first I started off when I first was going there for the first few months catching the train, but after a while I started walking to school because, for one, it was only 15 minutes away and I didn't have the money. Like, those metros down there are expensive. Like, the pricing is definitely different from Maryland to DC. I had got a job and it was even expensive for me to get the job. It was like a long walk for me to get the job from the metro. From the metro, I would have to walk to work, and that walk every freaking day was like at least 30 minutes. Like, I was walking everywhere. It was like not even funny. And when I was really settled into Old Navy, I had met this guy, and I remember I went to his house and I walked to his house and I walked an hour to his house. That's how I slimmed down so fast. I was walking a lot. Like, I need to get my ass back walking like that again, because that's my goal weight, that weight I was back then. But I remember that starving artist line is definitely real, because everything was good when I was first going there. Like, my mom was sending me $100 every month, and after a while I got a job. But then stuff had went bad. Like, I was hungry all the time. When I went home for Christmas break, I never been so happy to be home because I could actually eat. I was so happy to be home. My mom sent me with so much food going back to school. I'm thinking, like, this food not gonna never end, but it did. And when it got bad, my building served coffee in the lobby every morning. I would go take 2 cups of coffee. I would take 1 cup to drink before I went to school, and I would put the other cup in the go back upstairs and put the other cup in the refrigerator so that I could drink that cup coffee for dinner. Like, it was really, really bad, and I would really be crying. Like, I was finding ways to get free food. Like, sometimes they would have free pizza night at school. I would look out. That's the only time I ever looked at the school calendar, because the school calendar tell you everything that's going on that month. When I mean, I was finding out every time they was having free food at school. Like, I was taking advantage because it was no cafeteria for real. Like, the cafeteria, you had to pay for everything. You couldn't use no financial aid for a meal. It was no meal plans or nothing like that. So I was always hungry, and I was always walking. Like, I didn't even have to work out in the gym. I was walking so damn much. I came home looking like a whole different person when I finally left that school. Like, it was so depressing. Like, I was always hungry, and it don't matter how much I worked. It was like, it was never enough money. I would always go to the market, but I didn't have no car, so I would always walk to Safeway. Safeway was like 20-25 minutes away. I would have to walk with all of those bags back to my house, so I'm literally walking everywhere. And Safeway is super expensive, so I only had like $100 to go to the market, and I would try my hardest to stretch that $100. But I'll never forget this. I was so hungry one day, and I was talking to my grandmother, and I was just telling her how hungry I was. When I mean, I have the best grandmother. She sent me $200 to go to the market. And when I mean I spent all $200, I spent all $200 on food. I didn't buy nothing else. I was crying when she sent me this money because I was so hungry. And I know you're probably thinking, like, why didn't your mom send you no money? My mom was doing the best that she could. Like, my mom is a single mom. My dad passed away a while ago, so it's just my mom. So, I know she was sending me what she could. But when my grandmother sent me that $200, I really bust out crying. Like, I've been so hungry lately, and I've been drinking coffee to survive. And imagine just drinking coffee all the time, and it keeps you up. Like, it makes me antsy too sometimes if I drink too much. Like, I was drinking so much caffeine and stressing, and my schoolwork. I didn't even talk to you about the actual schoolwork. So my homework, because I was an art major, my homework would take me 6 to 8 hours, literally, just drawing, not even including my English and math classes and all of that, just my drawing classes, which was my major. So it was like super stressful, and the people in my art classes were super talented, and I was a beginner. So it was depressing looking at their work compared to mine. Like, why am I here? Like, I'm nowhere near their level at all. Like, I'm not touching them. But a lot of them were already like 27, 28 and had been drawing for like 10 years. So it wasn't really a fair comparison. But you know how it is to compare yourself. Well, I don't know if you all do, but like sometimes you like, why can't I be this good at this? Why I'm not nice at this? So it was depressing. And you know, I will never forget some of my classes. Like, I had a 6-hour drawing class and I had an 8-hour public speaking class. That was in the summertime before my classes actually started. Those are some long ass classes, but I'm so glad I took public speaking when I did, because I don't have to take it again. I took that my very first year of college, and it was hard for me to get the transcript from that school, but I finally got it not that long ago, and I'm so glad I don't have to take public speaking again, because I can talk to a camera like with no problem, but speaking in front of a crowd, like if all of y'all was sitting in front of my face, that would be a different story. So classes wasn't that bad, except for like my art class. It was becoming too much. Like, I don't like being forced to draw when I don't want to, because it's not going to be my best work. Like, if I force myself to do something I don't want to, it's not going to look good. Like, I have to be in the mood to do it, which is why I'm so on and off again with my artwork. And then when I'm too off, I feel like I forgot how to draw. So I don't like taking really long breaks, but sometimes I have to. It's just like a mental checkout I had to do sometimes. But all in all, my experience at the Art Institute, it was definitely a lot of mixed emotions. I would never go to the Art Institute again. It was way, way, way too much. I'm glad I did go, because I did actually meet my best friend there, and I met some great people, and I met my other roommate there. But you know, that was some of the most unhappiest times of my life, and some things I took from there that I did learn, but it was very, very stressful. But that is where I first learned how to begin digital painting. So like, again, I said I did learn some stuff from there, but that area is very, very expensive. It's the Commonwealth, so it was very, very expensive. The cost of living there is super expensive, and that's for like married couples who have that type of money. But not to be doing that on your own as a struggling college kid, it was too much. But that's all I have for this time. If you guys have any questions, drop them below in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram. Bye.
Drive me crazy, she gon' make me psycho. Everything I've been through, something only I know.